Hey guys, it's Scott Chow from theblogstarter.com, and we're going to jump right into this tutorial on how to start a blog. This tutorial I designed basically just for beginners. So everything we do is going to be super easy. I'm just going to show you how to set up a really simple blog. You can do this whether you're on a PC, a Mac, tablet, or even a smartphone. So I want you to also keep in mind that this video, I try to go slow, but if I go a little bit too fast, a lot of people find it easier to go on my website here, which is, again, theblogstarter.com. And I've got a full tutorial here, which walks you through all the steps that I'm doing here in the video, but it's a little easier to follow. So I definitely highly suggest that you do that. There's a link in the description. If you want to go check that out, it's all free. So let's jump right in. Let's take a look at the finished blog that I created. So I'm going to show you how to create this blog here. This is just one option that you can do for a blog. Obviously, there's a lot of different, things you can do. You can change the whole layout of this, and I'm going to show you how to do all of that. So this is just my version of a simple blog, and in my case, I'm doing a travel blog. And this is all built with the WordPress software, which is the most popular blog software, and I'll show you how to get that for free and install it and configure everything using WordPress. So let's go over some of the features here. You can see here I've got the title of the blog here, Scott's Travels, and a little tagline, Travel with Me. Here we've got some drop-down menus here that cover my different trips, various photography here. Up here we've got a nice little widget here with links to my Facebook page and my Twitter page. I've also got a really important tool here, which is the subscribe tool. So anyone who visits your blog, even if they like your blog, they may forget to come back and visit. So by having them enter their email here and hit subscribe, they'll get notified every time you publish a new post on your blog. In addition to that, I've just got a little blurb here kind of introing people to what my blog is about. Down here, I've got a nice little widget here that shows posts from my Twitter feed. And here in the center section is where I've got links to all of my main posts here with a big image to entice people to click and read more about it. And over here, similar thing too, showing my recent posts. In addition, I've got a search box here. So if you don't see, specific posts you're looking for, say, oh, I want to look up, did Scott ever go to Fiji? Well, I can type in Fiji and hit search, and you get the search results here for Fiji. Scrolling down further, you'll see there's another menu down here. And also that similar menu up here at the top. So that kind of gives you an idea of how this blog is going to work. Again, I've added some things that you may not want. There may be some things that you want to add that I haven't added. After you complete this tutorial, you should have a good idea of how to not only create this blog, but customize it in a way that you like as well. So you'll notice here with my blog, it's all here at scottchow.com. So if you want to visit this blog, you can just go to scottchow.com and you'll see this blog there. And that's a really important thing to note, is that I've got a custom domain name. A lot of people, when they think of WordPress or they think of starting a blog, they think of having something like wordpress.org/myblog or something like that, which looks really unprofessional and typically does not get you a lot of visitors. So we're going to want a custom domain name, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So to build this blog, we're going to need to go through a few steps first. The first step is going to be to register a domain name and get web hosting. And this is the only step that there's a charge for. There's about $25 for the year. There's some places that are more expensive. I'm going to show you how to get it for that $25 a year. And the reason you need these two things are basically to get your blog live and online. A domain name is the address that people are going to go to visit your blog. So for example, here theblogstarter.com is my domain name. And then web hosting is the service that actually gets your website online. So it's basically a super fast computer, also known as a server, that stores the files for your blog and then connects them to the internet. So you need both of these to have any type of blog online. So that's the first step, is going to be registering those. Then we're going to install WordPress. That's included free with your web hosting. And then we're going to customize the design of your WordPress blog using a drag and drop builder, also free. And then at that point, your blog is pretty much ready to go. It's just time for you to add your own content, which can be obviously blog posts, videos, pictures, pretty much anything else you can think of. So the first step here is registering a domain name. So first we need to think of what our domain name might be. You probably have some idea of the topic of your blog, and your domain name should reflect that topic in some way, just to let people who are visiting your blog have an immediate idea of what it's about. So if you have a single topic blog, something like cooking or travel, you can think of those types of words to put into the domain name and figure out a domain that you like. If you have a multi-topic blog, which is going over a variety of things, you might want to do something like your own name, which I think is always a good choice, or something else that reflects the kind of generic nature of the topics that will be covered on your blog. So once you've thought of a domain name, we're going to be here on the blogstarter.com. We're going to go down to this section here. Step 1, pick a blog name. And we're going to enter our domain name in this box here and see if it's available. If you're, for example, starting a travel blog and you want to do something very generic and it's just something like mytravelblog.com, a lot of these are probably already taken. So if we check availability here, we can see that domain is already taken. So you need to make it a little more unique than that. So I could think of maybe Scott Travels, and let's see if that one's available. That one's already taken. Okay, let's see. How about Scott's travel blog? And that one is available. So you might have to go through a few iterations of names to figure out one that's actually still available. And you can also try out, if you're really stuck on a particular name, if I really like that, the initial one that I had, which was my travel blog, maybe the .com version is not available, but I could always try .net, or something like .co is another popular one. If that one's not available, I could do .io. That one is available. So there's a variety of different domain extensions that you can add in. I typically recommend most people start with a .com or a .net, but if you're really, hooked on a particular name, then you may want to try out some of the other extensions. So now that we've found a few domain names that are available, it's time to register the domain name and find web hosting for our blog. So there's different web hosts that you can go with. I typically recommend you go with a web hosting company that is built around WordPress, since that's the blog software we're going to be using. And so for me, the choice that I like to make is Bluehost, because they have great support and they're built around WordPress. They give you everything you need to get your WordPress blog online. So I'm going to scroll down here on the blogstarter.com. And if you just go to bluehost.com, they typically have $295 a month price. But for us, we can use the link at the blogstarter.com here. If you click on any link here, you'll get a discounted price. And I do make a commission when you click on a link on my website, but you also get the discounted price. So when I click here, it takes me to the special offer page, and it's $1.99 a month instead of the $2.95 a month. So we're going to go ahead and click Get Started Now. And then it's time to select the hosting plan that you would like. For most people, 99% of people, I would say, you're going to want to pick the basic plan here. It allows you to have up to 10 websites or blogs, gives you 10 gigabytes of SSD storage. It's basically got everything you need to create a blog. As you'll see, these other packages, you can have up to 50 blogs. Most people don't need that thing. They don't need 50 gigabytes of storage. All that stuff is just kind of unnecessary if you're just starting a blog. In the event that you do think that you need some of this stuff in the future, you can always upgrade. But like I said, for 99% of people, you're going to want to start here with the basic package. So I'm going to click Select. And then it's time to put in the domain that I found. So I'm going to do Scott's Travel Blog.com. And if you already have a domain registered, if you happen to have registered a domain previously with GoDaddy or some other registrar, then you can click this box here and put in the domain that you already own. But for most people watching this, I assume you do not have a domain yet, so you're going to want to go ahead and register it here and leave this box unchecked. The other box here is for something called private registration. When you register a domain name, your contact information is put into a database of domain owners, and that's a publicly available database. And so you will get some spam email and that kind of stuff related to that, since your name and contact info and email address is um, in that database. So if you want to avoid that, you can leave this checked. There is an additional fee for this. For me, I don't mind a few other spam emails. My spam filter on my email box handles them pretty well anyway, and then I can just delete the few that aren't. So to save the money, I typically uncheck this. Click here to say you're okay with being unprotected, and then click search for domain. Okay, so now here in the cart, as you can see, we've got our hosting, and we've got our domain name registration, which is included free with the hosting package. The other thing here is the professional email. They give you a 3-month free trial of this, and I think you just don't really need this. You can still create custom email addresses. For example, if I wanted to have Scott at scottstravelblog.com and have people email me there, I can do that even without this. The professional email just makes it a little bit easier to manage, gives you a nicer interface. But for me, I don't think I need it. So even though it's free here, after the 3-month trial is up, you will be charged for it. So if you want to avoid that, go ahead and delete that, and then click continue to checkout. And then just go through the checkout process here. Add in your address and all your contact info. Set a password. Make sure you remember this password. This is the password that you're going to use to actually log into bluehost.com, which we're going to need to do to be able to install our blog and design it. And once you do that, choose your payment method and then click submit payment. So once you complete the checkout process, you're going to be automatically logged in to the Bluehost dashboard area. If you're not automatically logged in for some reason, you can always go to bluehost.com and enter in your email address and the password that you created during checkout to get to this area. You'll see here, we're going to go to the website section here. This is where you're going to manage, your whole hosting account here. But for the most part, you're not going to spend a whole lot of time here. We're actually going to spend time actually in the WordPress area, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So to get there, we're going to click on Edit Site, and it's going to take us to this page here. And we're going to click this link here at the very bottom. It says, I'm following a tutorial. Take me to the WP admin dashboard. So here we are, we're logged into the WordPress dashboard. This is the administrator area of your blog. This is where you're going to write your posts. This is where you're going to change all the things with your design and get everything ready to go for everyone to see. And one of the first things you'll see here is it says, congrats on your new site. Your site is currently displaying a coming soon page. So if we view our site here, this is what we'll see. So the first thing we're going to do is remove this coming soon page. You can do this later if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and do it for the purposes of showing you how to do it and how to see the site in a full preview mode. So I'm just going to click launch your site, and that's going to get rid of the coming soon page. So you may notice that at this point here, the web address here at the top is not the domain name that I registered. That's because it takes about 20 to 30 minutes for the domain registration to complete. Once that's done, then this will automatically switch over to use my domain name. But for now, we can continue building out the blog so that when the domain is ready, we'll have everything ready to go. We're going to go over here on the left, and you'll see there's a toolbar here with a variety of different tools you can access. And the thing we're looking for here is settings. Okay, we're going to see there's a variety of other settings here. So we're going to go to settings. We're going to go to general. And we're going to change the site title. This is the title that typically appears at the top of your blog. You can change this at any time just by coming back to this page. So I'm just going to change this here. And you can also add a tagline if you want, or you can leave it blank. This is just kind of like a subheading or a subtitle to your blog. I'm going to go ahead and leave that blank. And then I'm going to scroll down here and click Save Changes. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the posts and pages that are automatically added to our blog when we start it. So we click here on Posts. We'll see they've added a dummy post here, which is just Hello World. So we're going to go ahead and click Trash, throw that in the trash. And once that's in the trash, we can also empty the trash by going to Trash and clicking Delete Permanently. And we're going to do the same thing here with pages. There's a sample page here and a privacy policy page there they've added. I'm going to go ahead and delete both of those. You can always add a privacy policy page in later if you need to. And once those are in the trash, I'm going to go ahead and delete them permanently, just as I did with the post. Great. Okay, the next step is going to be actually working on the design of our blog. So to do that, I'm going to go into this toolbar here on the left for appearance, and I'm going to go to themes. Now, themes are basically the design of your blog. So you'll see that WordPress comes pre-installed with some themes here, and you can use any of these by clicking activate. And some of these are really good. If you just want a very simple layout, something like this, 2025 is great. You can hit activate, and then that theme becomes active on your site. And anytime you want to see what your site looks like, you just click up here, and you can click visit site, and then that will take you to show you what everyone else is seeing with your site. Right now, we're in the back end. Obviously, no one else is seeing this except for us. So we're going to go ahead and add a different theme for this tutorial. So I'm going to go here to add new theme. And then I'm going to search themes up here on the top right. I'm going to search for human theme, which is HUEMAN. You see it here. I'm going to click install. And once that's installed, I'm going to click activate, and that'll make the theme live on my site. And as you saw there, anytime I want to add a new theme, I can just go here. It's a very easy way to change your blog design. So you can test out a few of these and see which ones you like. And if you don't like it, obviously it's very easy to pick another one and use it. So you'll see there's a ton of themes here. These are popular themes. You can also search up here for latest themes or look for specific features if you're looking for, if you're doing a blog or you're looking for something a little bit related to a different topic. They have a lot of different options here. So for example, if I look here, I'll see that shows 200 different themes that I can choose from. And so that's a good way to change your blog design in a really quick way. I should point out that when you see these designs here, there's still a lot of customization that we can do to these designs. So what you really want to look for is just the basic layout of the blog that you're getting here. The colors and all that other stuff and the pictures and everything you can change easily, and I'll show you how to do that here now. So we've got our theme, the human theme that we talked about. And so we're going to actually go to customize it now. And to do that, we're going to click customize right here. And this will take us to the customization page. And this customization page shows you how the theme looks out of the box. So as soon as we install it, you'll see it's got some stock images here, and they have a layout already set up for us. But we can go ahead and change all of this, and I'll show you how to do that here. It's going to be all of the options here are in the left toolbar. One of the first places you might want to look is here in the web page design. This is where you can customize things. For example, here at the bottom, your social links. If I want to put mine in here, I could select my icon. And let's see, if I look for Twitter, I can scroll down here and pick the Twitter icon, and then I can type in my Twitter address, and then that'll put a nice link on my website there to let people know where my Twitter account is. So I add new, and you'll see it popped up here in the preview area here. Again, these little pencil marks here just show you how to edit those particular areas. So if I wanted to edit this, I could click on this here and edit it. I'm going to go back out of the social links here by clicking this left arrow here. And then I'm going to go here to site identity. And here I can choose what I want to display up here. If I don't want to display my title, I can just toggle this on and off. I can also choose to display a logo in the header by toggling this on, and then it comes preset with this particular logo, but I can remove and add my own logo image. And you can also change the site title here, add a tagline, etc. So go here. Next, we're going to look at colors. So this is the color here for this area here, the primary color. If I want to select a different color, I get my color palette here. I can choose something a little more neutral is what I would prefer here. So maybe something there. I can make it a little more transparent. And I can do the same thing here with a secondary color. If I want something a little more neutral, maybe like a deeper green or something like that. And once I'm done with that, I always want to click up here on Publish. As you'll see here, you can also change your font. If you don't like this font here, you can easily choose any of these other fonts. Again, same thing with the font size. We can do some customization outside of this customization toolbar that I'll show you how to do coming up. This is kind of for the global settings for your blog. This helps you kind of change everything in a really easy to do way. Okay, so I think I'm set there. I'll click Publish again, just to make sure I saved everything. Again, there's more things here that you can change. One of the things you may want to look at is the main body design section here. So this will help us choose the layout of our blog here. So right now we've got a 3-column layout. The first column here shows, this section here, then our main content, and then over here another sidebar. So if we go to column layout for the main content, you'll see the global layout here. Currently we have 3 columns with the content in the middle. If we want to change that, we can easily click here, and you'll see the content moves over here, and we have 1 sidebar over here. If you want to do 3 columns and have the content on the left, you could have your content here and then have 2 sidebars. You could even do 1 column, which just showcases your content with no sidebars. I think I'm going to stick with the 3 column with the content in the middle. But again, this is all personal preference, and it kind of shows you how, even though you may pick the same theme as somebody else, your theme could look entirely different by changing the colors and the column layout. Just those 2 things make a huge difference in the way your blog is set up. And then once you add in a custom header image or custom title, all those things really customize your blog in a way that's unique to you. So once I've got the columns and the colors set and changed any other options that I want, I'm going to go ahead and work on setting up these sidebars. Now keep in mind, we're doing it in this order because I think it's probably the simplest for people to follow, but you can always come back here, and if you decide later that you actually do want to do 2 columns, there's nothing wrong with that. It's very easy to do. So it's not as if you're making any of the choices that you're making are permanent. Everything is really easy to undo and do again. So now that we're done with the customizer, we're going to click the X here to get out of the customizer, and we're back in the homepage of our main WordPress dashboard. And we're going to go ahead and set up those sidebars. So to do that, we're going to come down here under Appearance on the left sidebar and go to Widgets. And this will take us to the Widgets section of the sidebar. And a widget is basically just like a little app or a little tool that you can put into your sidebar. So there's lots of different widgets that you can choose from. The most common one is probably just a text widget where you're just typing in text, but there's also lots of other useful widgets that you can put in as well. So you'll see up here, we've got the primary widget section, and if I collapse that, we also have a secondary widget section. And the secondary widget section is the right sidebar, and the primary is the left sidebar. This is where we saw all those things on our customizer before. And so I'm going to toggle this on here. This shows you a list view and lets you kind of see what widgets are in each section. So if I click here, I can see the various widgets here. And in the left sidebar, I don't think I want this meta section. So I'm just going to click delete. I don't think I want the category section either. So I'm going to click these 3 dots here, click delete. And the archives I also don't want, so I'm going to delete those. And same here. So I'm going to basically get rid of everything here. And even the search, I think I'm going to, maybe I'll move the search down to the secondary widget, or the secondary widget area, which is the right sidebar. So I move the search there. And let's see. Archives, I also don't want there. So I'm going to delete those. You can also delete here on the outline section here. All right, so now I've got the primary section here. I've got categories here. I think I want to delete as well. And categories list. So now it's time to add some widgets, so now that I've gotten rid of all of them. So the widget that we want to add is actually included with the plugin called Jetpack. And so we're going to need to install Jetpack on our WordPress blog if we haven't already. So we're going to go down here to plugins, and we're going to go to add new plugin. And here, Jetpack shows up actually here, and it's actually already active and installed. But if it's not, you could click here to install it. If you don't see it here, you could search up here for Jetpack and it'll come up here. And once you've installed the Jetpack plugin, you'll see it populates the menu on the left here with Jetpack. And you can go here to My Jetpack. And we just need to create an account. This is all free, but it gives us access to a lot of other features that we're going to want. So click Sign In here. And I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And if you don't already have an account, you just go ahead and enter your email here, and it'll prompt you to create an account. Again, this is all free, and this will give you access to a bunch of features that we need to build the blog. All right, once we're logged in, we need to actually activate this widget that we've been doing this whole process for. So we're going to go here to Settings. This is the settings under Jetpack here. And then we're going to go here to Newsletter. And we're going to toggle this switch on. It says let visitors subscribe to this site and receive emails. And you have some options here. You can automatically add a subscribe block at the end of each post if you like, and a few other ones here as well. So I'm going to leave those off for now, but you can always go back and use those if you like. So now that I've turned this on, I can go back to the widgets section again here under Appearance, Widgets. And now I can add the plus sign here to add a widget to this primary widget area. And I'm going to type in subscribe. And that's going to add the subscription widget. And so I'm just going to, you can customize this by going over here to the settings on the right-hand side here. You can input the placeholders text. And so instead of type your email, I'm going to make it a little bit shorter. I'm just going to write email address. And then there's a success message you can also customize. And you can change a variety of other things too. If you want to make it larger, you can click here on the size of the font here. I'm going to keep mine small. And again, other options here as well. I'm going to leave this as is, keep it pretty simple for now. And so that's my first widget that I've added here. The next widget I'm going to add is just a text widget. So I'm going to again hit the plus sign. And paragraph is the default widget for text. It's the one we'll be using a lot in our blog. So here I'm going to click paragraph. This creates a new block here. And I can type any text that I want in there. I've got some text that I already pre-typed. And so I'm just going to paste that in here. And again, I can adjust this text in a way I want. So if I want this first line to be larger, I can click here and change the size of the font. There's also, if you want to add links in here, if you want to bold any of the text here, you can click here. And that's the way you can use a text widget. It's called the paragraph block. And the last one I'm going to do is a widget for my Twitter feed. So there's a couple ways you can do this. One is you can search for Twitter embed, and then you can just put in your Twitter URL, and then that should populate. Sometimes this one's a little bit fussy, I found. See here, sorry, this content cannot be embedded. So instead of this, I'm going to delete this block. I'm going to do it a different way here. I'm going to do HTML, which is HTML is a coding language, but don't worry, we don't need to be able to code to do this. We just go to Google and we search for Twitter widget embed, and we'll go here to Twitter publish, and you type in your Twitter profile. And when you do that, you can choose what you want to show here. So I'm going to show an embedded timeline, and I'm also going to set my customization options here. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, so I'm going to make it maybe 400 and make the width 175. Maybe that's a little too small. You can see the preview down there at the bottom. Maybe a little bit larger. Let's see. I keep playing with this here. And yeah, I think 300 width looks good. Maybe I'll do 600 on the height. And then you'll see this is what it'll look like on the site. I'll click update, and then here's the code that I need. Click copy code, and we're going to go back here to the widget and paste it. All right, and so that adds that widget in. You won't actually see it here in this view, but we'll see it when we look at our site. Before we preview the site, let's go ahead and do the widgets in the secondary widget area as well too. So secondary area, I already added the search box. If you didn't already do that with me, you can always click here and just type in search, and you'll see there's a search widget you can easily add there. The other one I'm going to add here is latest posts. And so I'm going to do latest posts here, and that's going to go right there. And so now I think I've got my sidebars set up the way I want them to be. I'm going to click update, and that should save them. And then once that's saved, I can go ahead and preview and see what those changes look like. Okay, so here's the changes that I made. I've got welcome to my travel blog, and I've got my posts here. But I'm not seeing my subscribe button. So I think what this is a caching problem. So cache is just kind of, it saves a snapshot of your website, and it's not always the most updated version. So it's important to know how to get rid of that. So to do that, you just go up to this caching here and you click purge all, and that'll get rid of all the old versions of your blog. And so now when we refresh here, we should see, yeah, there's a subscribe link there. So everything's set up like we wanted. I should point out we added the recent post widget here as well too, and that's not showing up because we don't have any recent posts yet. So we're going to go ahead and add some content now. So there are two broad categories of content that we can add to our blog. One is called a page, and the other is called a post. They can both be used somewhat interchangeably, but the main thing to use a post for is typically for more of a blog style post where you're posting something new that is relevant to the current time. And a page is more of a static piece of content. And you'll see here what I'm talking about. So we're here on the homepage. This is the way the blog looks now. It's showing some kind of dummy content here. And we're going to go ahead and put our own content in. And to do that, we're going to go back into the back end. From this top menu here, you can go to dashboard. And then we can go to pages here. And we can go to all pages. And you can see there's a bunch here already added. I'm just going to go ahead and delete these. These are all just pages that came with our theme pre-installed, and they're just kind of just give you an idea of what the theme looks like with some content on it. And now that I've done that, I've added them to the trash. You can see they're here in the trash. If you want to empty them out, you can go here and delete them permanently. And then I'm going to go ahead and click here, add a new page. And the first page I'm going to add is about me. It's always a good idea to have, especially if you're running any type of personal blog. You want people to get to know you. And then here is where you can type in whatever you like. So, hi, my name is Scott, and I love to travel. All right, obviously you can make this much longer. And we can also add in a variety of other things here too. Again, similar to the sidebar area, we're using the block function here. And so this is a paragraph block, as you see here. If I wanted to change this to some other type of block, I could very easily. And if I want to add a new block, I can always click this plus sign. So for example, if I want to add an image, I can easily add an image block here, and that'll help me prompt me to upload an image. And we'll work on that in just a minute. But for right now, we're just going to get this page set up. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now, just to give you an idea of what a page looks like. Click publish. And that's publishing. And then I'm also going to add another page here. Click add a new page. And I'm going to make this one called resources. Say these are my favorite resources for travelers. And publish that. And so now I've got 2 pages, and I'm going to go ahead and make one more. And this one's going to be a little bit different. This one's going to be a contact me page. And to make an actual contact me page, we need to have a contact form so people can actually contact me. So I'm going to leave this one as is here. I'm going to go ahead and click publish. And to add the contact form, I'm going to go ahead and use a plugin again. And so I'm going to go here, back to the home screen here of the dashboard. I'm going to click add new plugin. And as you see, there's a variety of plugins that can add all different functionality to your website. You look at the popular plugins if you're interested. And actually the one that I'm looking for is in the popular plugin section. It's called Contact Form 7. And I'm just going to click install now. And once it's installed, I'm going to click to activate it. And now I need to configure that plugin. So here we are, Contact Form 7 is right here. I'm going to go to Settings. And here's Contact Form 1. I'm going to click Edit. And here I can edit what my contact form says. The way it'll look right now is it'll prompt someone to add in their name, their email, their subject, and their message, and then click Submit. So I think that's fine for now. I can also change the configuration of what the email is going to look like when it gets sent to me. So when someone submits the contact form, you'll receive an email in your email box, and that's where you'll receive the email. Right now, it's configured to deliver to my site administrator email. That's fine. If you want to change it to a different email, you can change it here. You can also customize any of the other things here. And then if you want to customize any of the messages that people see, for example, after they submit the contact form, it'll show them this message if it's successful. If there's an error, it'll show you this message, et cetera, et cetera. So now that the form is configured the way I like, I'm going to click Save. And now I need to actually place this form where I want it. And to do that, I'm going to copy and paste this section here. See this code here. Click Control-C, and then you're going to go back to the page that we just created. Here's the Contact Me page. I'm going to click Edit. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in here. And WordPress automatically knows that this is a short code block, which is exactly what we want. And I'm going to click Save. And once that's saved, when we go to this page, we should see our contact form. So we're going to click here to view the page. And here you go. Here's our contact page. So it's got the sidebar that we set up, just like every other page on our website. But this content section here is filled with our contact form that someone can use to contact us. Okay, so now that we've got the pages set up, let's go back to the dashboard here. Click on the W at the top left to get to the main area of the dashboard. And now we're going to work on posts. So these are going to be our more typical blog posts. So click on Posts, and we're going to go ahead and add a new post. And I'm going to, since my blog is going to be a travel blog, I'm going to center each post on a different destination. So I'm going to do Costa Rica for this one. And I'll just write, I had a great time exploring in Costa Rica. All right. And so with that, there's also a function here where we can use AI to create some content. I wouldn't suggest that you do that normally, but I'm going to do that for the purposes of this blog just so we can have a little bit of content on it. And so now we've got a little bit of content here, but we may want to add in a image. So to add the image, I'm just going to go ahead and create a new block here. And I'm going to select the image block. Again, if you don't see it in the pop-up here, you can always search for it in the search bar. And I'm going to select an image from my media library. Now, there's some images that were here that were uploaded with the default theme that we selected. So we're not going to use those images. We're going to want to add our own. And if you have some that you've taken yourself, obviously you can use those. If you do want some stock photos, there are some great free stock photo websites. There's pexels.com. Pixabay is another one. And so I'm going to use some stock photos that I've gotten from those places. And so I'm going to go to upload files. And I'm going to go ahead and take some of these photos here and drag them in, paste them in here. And I'm going to just go ahead and do all of my photos for this project now. I'll only put one photo in this particular blog post, but I'll go ahead and upload all the other photos for the rest of the post as well. So now that those photos have finished uploading, I'm going to go ahead and select the one that I want for this post, which is this one with the monkey here. And I'm going to go ahead and click select here in the bottom right. And that's going to insert the image into my post. Now I actually want this image to be above the text here. So I'm going to select the image here and I'm going to click the up arrow here too to move it up. I'll move it up there. And that's all I'm going to do for this post for right now. So that takes care of the actual content for the post. There's one other thing I want to add here, which is I'm going to come over here to this right sidebar and click post. These are the settings for the post. And I'm going to set a featured image for this post. And I'm going to select the same one. And when I select the featured image, that just means that's the image that's going to show up when this post is being referenced on other areas of my blog. So I think I'm done with this post for now. I'll go ahead and click publish. And I'm going to go ahead and create another post now. And the other post here is, one more thing actually I wanted to do on this post. I'm going to go ahead and add this to a category too. So you can categorize your posts. It helps keep things separate on your site. If you have different topics that you talk about or just different other things that you want to keep separate. So here I'm going to type in, I'm going to put this in the photography category. I'll unselect the uncategorized and then I'll click save. And so now that post will be in the photography category. And now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and add another post here. So I've got the Costa Rica post. I'm going to go click add new post. And this one is going to be Jamaica. And I'm going to do the same thing here. This one I'm just going to go ahead and add in my image. And again, I've already uploaded all the images, so I can easily select it and add it in here. I'm going to get this sidebar here again. If you ever lose it here, it's this toggle button here. And I'm going to make sure to set the featured image to the same thing. And I'm also going to add a new category for this one. I'm going to call this travel. And I'm going to click publish. And I'm going to create a few more posts in that same type of way here. So I'm going to show you a couple more options here with this. So I'm going to click add new post here. And this post is going to be Vancouver. Again, I'm going to look for an image in my image library that I already uploaded. And click select. I'm going to go ahead and set the featured image to the same thing. And I'm going to use category here too. Travel. Add new category. I think I forgot to click the add new category in the previous post, so I might have to go back and do that again to make sure they're actually added into the travel category. And then I'm going to click publish. And let's do a couple more. The next one we're going to do is Fiji. So add new post. We'll do Fiji. Again, we're going to use the image. And now obviously if I was, doing a real post on this stuff, I would do, a more in-depth post. I'd actually write something here besides just putting a single image. I'd, be telling you all about my travels here. I'd probably do multiple images. But just for our purposes here, I want to give you an idea of how to set this up without getting into the content part, because that's the part that is really, up to you and what you want to do. Just kind of give you an idea of how our blog would look with some content on it. And this one I'm also going to put in the travel category. You see it's already created there. And then click publish. And the last one we'll do add new post. And we'll do New England for this one. And add our image here. And also do the same with setting the featured image. And we'll go down to categories here. And this one I'm going to add into the photography category, which I did not create before. But I'll click add new category. And this one's ready to publish. I just want to show you here. Obviously, we've talked about blocks a lot. The main blocks we're going to be using for a post would be the image block and then the paragraph block where you just can write in text. But there also are, a ton of other blocks here that we can choose from. We can click browse all and see the variety of blocks that they have. If you want to do a heading, if you want to do a quote that stands out, if you want to put a table in, a gallery, a video. They've got columns for just about anything you can think of. They've got buttons here if you want to have you'll see the preview there kind of shows you what a button looks like if you want to have a button someone clicks to potentially buy something or subscribe to something. You could do that there. A variety of different options there. So I'm just showing you the most simplistic options here just to kind of get your blog up and going, but just know that there's a ton of other options here. Pretty much anything you want to do, you can easily, add. It just takes a little bit of exploring and experimenting with. Okay, so now I've got the final post done. One thing I want to do is go ahead and add in those other posts that I first made that don't have a category and put them in a category. So see, each post is listed here, and this one's in the photography category. These two are in the travel category. I'm going to go ahead and quick edit this one, and I'm going to put it into the travel category. And for this one, I'll put it in the photography category. And then just click update. So now I've got 5 posts, and they're all categorized, and they have images. And so if we take a look at what our site looks like now, again, we can purge our cache just to make sure we're not showing any old versions of the site. And then I can click visit site here. And you'll see that I've got my posts here now too. And my recent posts are listed here as well. So it kind of gives you an idea of what the site looks like. Now I want to move on to setting up the menus. As I showed you in the beginning, the way the site looks right now looks good, but there's a little bit of a difficulty actually navigating around the site. So to fix that, we want to add some menus in. And to do that, we're going to go back to the dashboard, and we're going to go to Appearance and Menus. And we're going to create our primary menu here. And to add pages, we're going to click them here and then click Add to Menu. And this will create the menu here. So I'm going to move this around a little bit. You can drag and drop these. I'm going to do About Me first, then Resources, then Contact Me. And then I'm going to click Save Menu. And once the menu's saved, I need to actually make sure it's going to the right place. So to do that, I'm going to toggle here on the Manage Locations. And this will be the top bar menu. I'm going to select Primary Menu and click Save Changes. And I think I want to add another menu in that shows my categories. And to create the other menu, I'm going to click here, create a new menu. And I'm going to call this one secondary menu. You can call it whatever you want. No one's going to see that name. That's a hidden name for you there. And I'm going to click create menu. And I'm going to choose to show this one in the header. Click save again here, and I'm going to just show my categories here. This will be an easy way for people to find a particular category that they want, for my site. So if they're only interested in my travel posts, they want to see photography posts, this gives you an easy way to see that. And so I'm going to go ahead and click save. And so now I've got my categories here, but I actually want to add some more to this menu here too. I'm going to make this a drop-down menu. And the drop-down items I want under each category are the actual posts. So I'm going to select the posts here, all the posts that we just made, and click add to menu. And I'm going to put the travel ones into the travel category. So I believe that was Fiji, Vancouver, and Jamaica. And I'm going to move these over slightly. And they're all going to be sub-items here. So you see Fiji, Vancouver, Jamaica are all sub-items of the travel category. And New England and Costa Rica are sub-items of the photography category. Then I'm going to click Save Menu. And we're going to double check this Manage Locations here. Secondary menu is going to show in the header. So now the menu should be set up. We're going to purge the cache. And then we're going to refresh here. And we'll see our menus are here. So About Me, Resources, Contact Me are all here in this upper menu. And then we've also got drop-down menus here for travel. If you just want to see the travel category, you would click here and it would take you to the category page with all the various travel posts that I've got. If you wanted to select a specific post from here, you have that option. And same thing for the photography category right here. So now we've got a fully functional blog, and I'm pretty happy with how this looks. There's always more that can be done, obviously more things to add, but I would highly suggest that you start off with something simple like this and then start working on your content. And then as you kind of go along, you'll kind of get an idea of what types of things you might want to add to your blog, or you'll hear back from your readers and they'll tell you what kind of things they're missing out on your blog, and you can add those then. But I think kind of a simple layout like this is the best thing to start with. Again, as you saw, if there's something that you don't like on this page, it's very easy to leave out that step or add in some of the other features that I showed you that I did not use on this blog. So the final thing that I want to show you how to do is actually not related to the blog design, but it's related to setting up your email address for the blog. And since you have a custom domain name, for example, this one here is scottstravelblog.com, you can create an email address that could be scott@scottstravelblog.com. And to do that, you're going to want to go to your Bluehost account, and then you're going to click on the left-hand menu here, cPanel Email, and it'll prompt you here to create and manage email accounts. Click Continue. And this will take you to the email accounts list here. And then you can click the blue button here, Create, and you can enter your custom email address here. First, you want to select your domain name here. So Scott's Travel Blog, and I'll do Scott's Travel Blog. I'll click Generate a Password here, and then I'll click Create. And so now I've got this email address created. And to do that, to actually check the email, I can go here, click Check Email. This will take you to your webmail thing, and click Open. And you're taken to your email box here. Now this email address can be set up to go to your phone or to be forwarded to a different email client if you so prefer, but you can always come and log in here and send and receive emails here. So I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If you have any questions, you can always contact me through the contact form on theblogstarter.com. And make sure that when you're starting your blog, you also check out the written tutorial there, because I tend to update that one more often than the videos. And you can also use my exclusive coupon code there to make sure that you get the best discount on Bluehost. And yeah, I hope to hear from you guys soon.